Can I be honest? I'm sick. I'm sick of the same self-improvement content, development, growth, change your mindset, wake up at 6 a.m., workout, read 30 pages a day. And like, don't get me wrong, okay? I'm doing all of that. It's so much harder for someone to level up and grow when they hear the same flah. No one wants to be lectured, okay? And that's what I'm starting to realize is that for me, I was seeking where I wanted to learn, grow, and level up in every aspect. And so I didn't care how it was delivered. In today's society, a lot of people tend to be distracted. And if you're distracted, you're not going to want to listen to someone preaching at you and just like, do better. And I want to change the game when it comes to talking about these type of things. Okay, what if there's a way for us to learn and still have a good time? Depth with dopamine. What if I could talk to you about learning how to level up without overcomplicating it, without sounding manifestation and abundance in this quantum world? Don't get me wrong, like listen, again, I have nothing against that because I do read it. But to make this simpler, I want to make you understand that all of this is just patterns. If it's boring to you, then guess what? You're at the right place. Because I'm here to translate everything, but in a more fun, entertaining way, okay? So, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, that's exactly what I talk about. I talk about leveling up, growth. I want to infuse learning while living your life. And then boom, it turns into a lifestyle. How do I do that? I talk about it like this. I get in my bag. Another thing that I do is I actually do vlogs. And it's for me to also see my growth and what I need to change. So it's a win-win. I can show you how it's done. I'm living what I'm preaching. And then at the same time, I could tweak and refine how I live my life. I'm refining right now. Usually, I'm a little bit more serious. And welcome to another episode of this Presence Podcast. We're changing it up a little bit. I'm going to show you guys the real me, how I still have things to say that will add value to your life. But I also want you to stick around the entire time. If I'm listening to a book or a podcast that talks about the serious things that matter, I'll be honest, my brain starts to overheat at some point, right? Because it's so the entire time. What if we can have that same result, but I can deliver it to you a little bit more fun? If I can make you smile, maybe we can have a little relatable aha moment where we both have been there and are going through it. It's all about the seasons, right? Everyone's got different seasons. Okay, I have friends that are married, friends that have kids. I have friends that black out, go out every single weekend. I have friends that are locked in and they're going to the gym every single day and they're working on their business or their career. We're all just little tiny pebbles in this universe, but we still have a bigger purpose. And that is, for me, is to serve Jesus Christ and his kingdom. And how do I do that? Is by encouraging you, by giving you content that is tied around getting better, leading yourself so that you could lead others. How do I become my highest version of myself so that I could shine a light to others? Here we are. So, welcome to another episode of the Presence Podcast. Today, I want to teach you what is necessary in order for us to level up. What is self-improvement? Like, what is it really about? To me, I believe in order for us to actually become the highest version of ourselves, we just have to be honest. And it starts with being aware. And once we become aware, everything starts to come to the surface. And this is where you start to see what is actually going on with your life. You know, for me, I had to be honest and clear on what I want. I started there. I want these type of people in my life, this type of career. I want this, that, you know what I mean? Like, it's just being clear on what it is that we want. And then from there, I got clear on what I don't want. I don't want energy vampires. I don't want unhealthy habits. You get the point, right? So it's almost like an audit. That's what I call it. I love to take an audit of my life, and that's what I did. And maybe you're in this season, or maybe you know someone in this season, and now they could have a reminder. In order for us to move on to the next level, we have to be aware first. And once you become aware, it's like an inventory check. Now you know what you don't want, and then now you start to craft a next step. What actions can we take? It's simple. Self-improvement to me is awareness, and what actions can we do about it? Most people are aware, and they have clarity on what they don't want. And a lot of them, they know what they do want, but they don't do any actions about it. Okay, we live in a society where everyone's lazy because there's a lot of distractions pulling them left and right. Now, that's for some people. Some people are just lazy just because they're content, and there's nothing wrong with that, at least for them. In my eyes, we always have to be evolving. We always have to be improving. That's a human nature. We were in igloos. Now here we are working with AI. We always have to be striving for the next level. But the thing about self-improvement is that a lot of people get stuck in that loop of getting better, that they forget to live, be happy. They become miserable, striving for the next thing. And so this is where I come in. This is where I can show you that we can do that. We can strive for the next level and still be happy. We can still be ourselves. That's it. That's what it's all about. We have to return to ourselves because we get pulled left and right. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all the instant gratification that we forget. Life is all about delaying that gratification so that all we have is joy, peace. I want to get into systemizing your life, because if you systemize your life, then you have no choice but to take action. And so this is my recipe for laziness. It's like, okay, I'm clear that I don't want energy vampires in my life. What action should I be doing? I need to meet new friends, or I need to say no to the same invitation every day, every 2 days, every weekend. You get the point. It's just action. If you create a list of things that you can do, you start to stack them up, and now it becomes a system. And now that system is something that you fall to. We don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems. So if you're someone that wants to be super fit, then you have to create a system where there's a bunch of small habits that will lead you there. So that means eating healthy. Okay, boo-hoo. We all know this. Working out daily. Cardio. This you probably already know. But some of us are honest and we're not doing it anyway. We know what we need to do, but we're not doing it. And so this is me kind of sharing what's working for me. And then maybe you could apply some of the things that I'm talking about to your life. It's all perspectives. You know, I believe life is all about changing the way we look at things. Because the moment we do that, we become open-minded. And when we become open-minded, things start to flow. You're no longer forcing things. Maybe I should be walking this way instead of that way. But many of us still walk that way because it's the familiar. It's comfortable. This is unknown, uncertain, and we don't want to try new things because we don't know what's going to happen. If you want a life that is exciting, your dreams, they're probably the ones walking this way. Or they're always doing things that are uncomfortable, uncertain. Now, maybe not all the time, right? But they're still leaning towards here. And most people lead toward here, where it's the normal, average, comfortable, safe, easy. But when you make easy decisions, you'll have a harder life. Or you could start taking harder decisions now, and then down the road, you'll have an easier life. Red pill, blue pill, like which one is it? Everyone's got different seasons. The only way for us to really win is just to be intentional. Work on something that has a bigger purpose. Find a way to become clear on your goals, become clear on what you don't want, and then what you do want, and then start to reverse engineer that process. What does that person do? Who do I need to become in order to get to that point? I talked about my last episode about clarity, and some people are clear, but people need systems in order to use that clarity and move that to the next level. And so if you're clear with what you want, which most of us are, start writing things down. Become intentional. The moment that you get to that point, now what action can I do? What things do I need to cut out? What type of people do I need to be hanging out? And what projects should I be working on? Hope this was helpful. If this was beneficial, I hope you share it to your friends. Give me a like, comment, and then come back. Pick one thing that you're going to upgrade in your life. Do that for 7 days. Okay, and whatever the update is, come back here to this video, save this video, and then comment what you did and how it's changed your entire week. I'll see you in the next episode.